the CEO of Ubisoft, was questioned and during an investors meeting when he said Outlaws was released at a time where the brand that it belonged to was in a bit of a choppy waters, and basically tried to blame like fans not being interested in Star Wars and a plethora of other things. That wasn't the only thing he blamed it on during this investors meeting, and completely ignored the fact that, or ignored and overlooked all of the actual criticisms that were levied against them with the game having technical issues and having been marketed, primarily towards people that were not fans of Star Wars. And it's just kind of more of the same from Ubisoft and other companies where, they remain tone deaf to their fan base and blame everyone else but themselves for their own failures. I get that this is an investors meeting, and so you want to try to save face a little bit. But at the same time, ignoring the fact that you released a bad game that had issues and wasn't completely finished, on top of the fact that you released a game that's about Star Wars, that yes, at the time, the brand is not doing well, but that also, in a way, is kind of a benefit, because if you release a good Star Wars game, then people will play it. Because guess what? People are playing Battlefront right now. Correct. Everybody. And that's a game that was released years ago that also had a very controversial launch. So it's just one of those things, we're going to keep seeing this from games developers until they lose their jobs. And a lot of them are right now, especially in Ubisoft. So. Yeah,
this is just a flat out, it's not a lie, but it's a lie. It's not a lie that Star Wars was in choppy waters, but it's a lie that's why it did bad. Because what was it, 2023? You had Jedi Survivor. Yeah. And that game, I mean, the first one and the second one did great. People love those games. And just like you said with Battlefront 2, it's seen its all-time peak just this year. People going back to it. Now, was that because of Revenge of the Sith being re-released? Was it because Fortnite had a badass Star Wars mode and people were hungry for more Star Wars, so they went back to that? But no, Outlaws, Ubisoft was just disingenuous with their entire launch. They packaged a mission that was supposed to be in-game, in the main game. They took it out, packaged it at a $30 or $40 price tag because you want to go to Jabba's palace, you want to fight a Rancor. How cool would that be? Well, give me your fucking money if you want to do it.
Well, yeah, this is just more examples of Ubisoft being the most out-of-touch game developer out there. There's so many examples of it, and this is just another line in their story of they're in damage control mode against the stockholders, trying to convince them that they're doing well. Their stock is at near an all-time low right now. They were at an all-time high as of 5 years ago when Assassin's Creed, which was Valhalla, came out. That was their highest-selling Assassin's Creed game. They were on top of the world. The game isn't great. I don't love that game. There's parts of it that I enjoy, but it shouldn't be the top of their pinnacle, but they were doing great. And then they started doing Outlaws. Then they started doing Shadows, and they started running their fucking mouths. And I don't know if you guys know 100% about this. A few months ago, they started talking about they pushed all their biggest franchises and their biggest money pits into a subsidiary. And that subsidiary is run by nepotism. The son of that guy who's talking, I believe it's his son, is running that. And that's just another way to obfuscate the stock crisis from the shareholders, because they can push all the losses that will happen from the next Assassin's Creed game and whatnot onto the subsidiary. So the main Ubisoft company looks like it's doing well, and they just keep lying to their investors with everything that they're doing right now. And I think it's 100% due to their stock. They're at $2.18 as of right now.
Oh my gosh, bro.
Back in 2021, they were at $20.
Wow.
That's a huge drop off. So if anybody questions whether or not Shadows was a failure, look at their stock, if nothing else. If it was the absolute success that they claim it was, they would have seen a stock increase. It's a level through the entire release window.
Mm-hmm. I heard Jed saying Boobysoft.
Jed said obfuscate, and I have no idea what the fuck that means.
Obfuscate? It's like hide.
Oh no.
Gonna hide.
What?
It's hide.
Distract and hide.
Hello?
No, hide.
Oh, hide. Oh, okay.
Hide.
Right.
The guy that doesn't speak English just explained.
I know. I'm disappointed.
And we can't forget that a few months ago, they also said gamers need to get used to not owning their games. And they had a contract in, if you look at their user agreement, it specifically says if we ban your account from their Ubisoft Connect platform or whatever, you are legally required to destroy physical copies of your own game. So you want to talk about stop killing games? They're trying to contractually obligate you to destroy something you own if they don't like you anymore.
Break your disc right now.
So what makes matters worse, I believe they had like a I think there was like a moment where like the investors meeting or something like that, someone asked him a question, and the question was asked like, as a shareholder, this is a bold choice from Ubisoft in the story. He may fall in love with, talking about Yasuke. He may fall in love with a transgender character. This is a deteriorating company's image and challenging its foundations. And then basically saying that is this like woke or not woke? And he responded with, this is a real character. This is someone who really existed. And showing this character has been extremely successful. And that's why we decided to tell the story. We wanted to tell a different story.
Then what's the point of having a real person be your protagonist? That was always dumb. It didn't matter what real protagonist you were playing. You want to experience history. And if you're playing as the character, you affect history too much, in my opinion, at least. And
100%.
They made
Yasuke
so much worse being
likes transgenders. So that's according to their agenda. And of course, that's the reason why people liked it. And now Tencent own most of them.
Yeah, and that's the subsidiary was funded by Tencent. They've been talking about Ubisoft selling or at least divvying up their franchises to the highest bidder, but Tencent came in and gave them enough influx of cash to start the subsidiary, which was only like $1.3 billion with the budget of Shadows. Tencent gave them enough to make 2 games. That's not as much of an influx as they think. But they also came out and said, with all these horrible things they've said this last week, that microtransactions make games more fun.
I saw this.
That is the most brain
Can you blow
dead,
this up a
out
little
of
bit?
touch thing I have ever heard. Like, I think this might be worse than gamers need to get used to not owning their own games. This is worse than anything Nintendo's ever said or did. This is insane.
They argue it's because players can progress more quickly if they pay for boosters.
Yeah, pay to win. Pay to win.
Pay to win, man. Holy shit.
Well, this is what their whole platform is based off of right now. So those who haven't played Shadows don't know this. I haven't finished Shadows. I could not bring myself to do it. I thought I was going to.
I couldn't either.
I got like 25 hours in and I was ready to end everything. But they have this new thing called the Animus Hub, which is the main menu of the game, and it connects to all these different things, all the previous games in the RPG era. And there's microtransactions in there. There's getting outfits. There's getting armor. There's getting unlocked story. And they're trying to put all the games together. I believe there was rumors a couple years ago about them building up to a life service game called Assassin's Creed Infinity. And that was going to be a massive GTA Online style thing where every year or so they'd release a new season, which would be a new point in history. And you'd just sign on to the game, go into ancient Greece or whatever it was for that season and whatnot. But after how bad Mirage did, they didn't have the capital or the confidence that something like that would work. And live service games are on decline. I mean, at least newer ones like Suicide Squad that just came out a couple years ago. So
Halo Infinite,
they did what they could to morph the development they've already done into Infinity to make it Animus Hub. Now, that is just a personal theory of mine, but that's where we're at right now, I think, with Ubisoft, where they're just throwing shit at the wall, hoping it sticks. Mixing and matching and making that dollar stretch as far as they can. Because $2 after $20 4 years ago, there's no reason this company should exist right now with that much of a drop off. It should be liquidated.
And the thing is that Netflix has greenlit a live action Assassin's Creed TV series. So
the movie did so well.
The movie did great.
It's wild, man.
We don't have a whole lot of info on that yet, but the creators did say that they're big fans of the game and they started playing the older games in preparation. So, of all the things they could have said, that's probably better than what they otherwise could have said.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing too, about Assassin's Creed, they've always implemented experimental things into their games to test whether or not the people will want to see it in the next game. So like they'll add different features. You'll go, oh, I didn't like that, or I like that. And then those features would either continue into the next game, or they would get rid of them completely. Like Assassin's Creed 3, there's a whole section with ship combat because they were testing for Black Flag, so it's like, to Jed's point, it's like if you're seeing live service features and things like that, it's because they're trying to plan on doing something with that. They implemented multiplayer in a lot of these games as well, and the multiplayer aspect has been very hit or miss over the years. But yeah, man, I mean, it's pretty wild to see a company that was doing so well completely destroy their brand because they're just trying to figure out how to nickel and dime people. And this whole thing of players progressing more quickly is really laughable, because that was a huge criticism they got of Odyssey, was that the XP grind in Odyssey was insane and it was extremely difficult. And they're like, man, if you guys don't like that, you could buy this booster pack. If you get this booster pack, it's a permanent unlock of extra
That's
XP.
criminal. It's so
Yeah.
criminal to do that.
Versus single player game. This is wild.
And they're like that. They're like, if you really want to play RPGs, like everybody knows they take lots of time and grinding. It's like, no, not like that. You know, there were people that did the math, and it was insane how much harder it would have been to grind those levels, because the different levels and different story missions were level locked. So you had to progress by leveling up. It was what a mess, man.
Well, and
So-
I mean, we all know they're designed that way. They specifically make it so that the grind is so fucking difficult that you have to spend hours, days, weeks, months just to get the fucking thing that you want, or you can pay $10 to do it. Yep. Like, it's so fucking greedy and scummy to do that.
Mobile game attitude.
Yeah,
that's definitely the mobile games are taking over the industry. One of their future Assassin's Creed project is codenamed Jade right now. That's going to be a mobile game set in China, and they're really trying to focus on shifting things to mobile games. A lot of developers are at this point. But to your point, Beardo, I think a lot of people wouldn't notice that as much, the grinding aspect, if the game was fucking good. Assassin's Creed Shadows, I tried to play that game like I do all the other Assassin's Creed games. I tried to find every marker. I go platinum when I do Assassin's Creed games. So I was going to every question mark. I was going to every side objective, getting every little thing done. And in other games, that is so much fun to me, figuring out the secrets of this world. Even Odyssey, which has a very open map that's kind of bland sometimes, it had great mysteries to find in it that kept it exciting for me. Shadows, I couldn't walk through a forest without having brush take over everything that I'd seen, and without the minimap, I'd never know where I was going, and it just drags down the experience so much that there's no way that I would spend time on grinding it, because I'm not going to pay for XP. That's gay.
Well, the good thing about I guess in hindsight, not hindsight, but I guess a good thing about having Assassin's Creed based in China, it won't be woke.
Maybe.
Well, they're catering to the Chinese argument audience.
Xi Jinping is like, hey, main character got to be Chinese, and make sure you put out a lot of rice field, and make sure you have the dragon in the emperor outfit. Gonna be so good.
Oh my god,
That is true.
We could legit make a comedy with our fucking crew here, dude. Oh my god.
How they did Black Myth Wukong, it's a Chinese game, but fuck, was it good?
Yeah. Yep. I mean, again, I think fans overall, like I've been saying this all the time, we can deal with bad games occasionally. We can't deal with woke bullshit though. Like it's unacceptable.
Well, when it's woke and then they want to charge you every single leg of the way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, another thing to look at.
Good.
It'd be so good. Go ahead, Jed.
Oh, another thing to look at, Ubisoft losing confidence in this franchise is right after Valhalla came out and about the release of Mirage, they announced like 6 new Assassin's Creed games. They announced the mobile game, they announced Shadows, and they announced remakes, they announced the Infinity, they announced so many fucking things that you got lost in how many announcements were made. How many of those have we seen after 5 years at this point? 1. Jade doesn't have a release year yet. It doesn't have anything more than a promotional image. Ubisoft can't spend money on Assassin's Creed right now, and they hoped that all those announcements would get people excited enough for the future, but it's not working, and the stock is reflecting that. So the damage control campaign to convince the stockholders that everything is okay is underway.
Sell it.
But they added third person to Frontiers of Pandora.
Did anyone play that game?